All right, where are we? Good morning, beloveds. I'm not awake. I'm bleary-eyed and I'm tired. And I've already been up and been for a walk, but here we are. We went to see a movie last night. Action movie. Superhero movie. That actually ended with a hug. It was really, really interesting. And I thoroughly loved the movie. I just really liked the way that they did this one. So it was really good. We went to see the Thunderbolts. And by the time that you get through the movie and when you find out why it's named the Thunderbolts, that's just the best. So if you didn't know that I was a geek, then yeah, here we are. But I mean, if you've been watching this, if you've watched any of these videos, you got to know that I'm a geek, a nerd, and probably a dork too. I'm definitely one of those. All right. So we're in Living the Science of Mind. We are in a section called God, Your Personal Self, reading the little essays in there. And so what I'm going to do is the housekeeping, and then we'll get into the article. It's been I don't think I changed the date again. Dang it. Because I only have to change one word in the title. I need to go change the date. Oops. All right. So hang on. Here we go with the housekeeping. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center. The website is creativelife.org. The constant contact is email the constant contact email is info@creativelife.org. You get one email a week, tells you what's going on for the week of the month. Unless something unusual happens, then you might get another one. But, that's pretty rare. It's a real person doing it. He just doesn't have time for that. And also, hang on. There are more words. The hot links are hot, and it is a blind CC, which means nobody else will see your email. You won't end up on anybody else's email list because of us. All right. So I think that's that. So let's do the social media really quick because it's our favorite topic. We don't monetize the social media. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do is to engage with our platform, engage with our posts, like, share, follow, comment, subscribe, do those things. It bumps us in their algorithms and we would appreciate it. All right. So that is that. So let's talk about Living the Science of Mind. So what this is, like if you read the description, it's a commentary. It's Ernest's commentary on his own epic work of the Science of Mind text, which we've read, by the way. So, but also where the essays came from is from his take-home course. At the back of the Science of Mind text for the magazine for a very long time, you could write to Ernest, and they would mail you this course once a week for 48 weeks. It was the take-home course for Science of Mind. So that's where a lot of these came from. I think all but two is what the intro of the book says. So it's really interesting. What I like about it is, honestly, what it looks like is somebody wrote to Ernest and said, hey, what about this? Which is why we have an article titled, Why Do We Talk About God So Much? So it really feels like Ernest is talking to you one-on-one. So I like that kind of that down-home quality of these books. I'd forgotten how good this book was. So let's get into this. And, cause like I said, we're in a little section called God, Your Personal Self. And see, Ernest is not a big believer in punctuation. He's just not. He's big on run-on sentences. I really want a comma in that title, and there's not one, so it drives me crazy. But we are doing the subsection called The Law That Is Within You. Oh, let me get the light on too. So, all right, the law that is within you, which I'm going to say again. The law that is within you is an activity of the mind principle in you. This mind within you is the mind of God. All inquiry into any truth, whether we consider such truth physical or metaphysical, leads to the inevitable conclusion that the final creativeness of the universe is a movement of intelligence within and upon itself. This intelligence already exists at the center of your own being. It really is your own being, and the very power of imagination which you exercise is this intelligence functioning at the level of your comprehension of it. To think is to create. Which we could jump from there into talking about praying without ceasing. It's remembering that every thought has the potential to be creative. Praying without ceasing. All right. The law that is within you is both universal and individual. Since your mind is some part of the mind of God, there is a place within you where you are universal, where you use universal power. That power is law. This law, which is at the center of your own being, you no doubt have used largely in an unconscious way. You have used it in ignorance of its true nature. Consequently, the very good which you so greatly desire, but which you have been afraid you would not gain, has been kept away from you because you have denied its presence in your experience. To affirm the presence of this good is to use the law within you for the creation of the good which you affirm. Apparently, I thought that sentence was important enough to underline. To affirm the presence of this good is to use the law within you for the creation of the good which you affirm. You have far more control over your life than you think you do. And it does start with how you feel. Sometimes the only choice we have is how we feel about a situation. Well, once we make up our mind how we feel about a situation, then we can choose our actions. That's where it starts. All right. One of the most fascinating things that you will ever learn is that this law, which exists at the center of your being, is creative. You use the same creativeness which brought the planets into being, the same creativeness which produced everything that is. The law of your life is the law of freedom, but you have used it as a law of bondage. You must now use it as a law of freedom. In other words, stop limiting yourself. All individual minds, your own included, are different activities of the infinite mind. This mind of God is the law of your life. When you speak, it speaks within you. Thus, your thought becomes the law of your life because the law of the one mind already resides at the center of your being. The law of your thought becomes the law of your life. That's one of the reasons why we're like big on check your head. Check your head. What are the thoughts that you are thinking on a regular basis? What is the trend of your thought? Each individual thought is not the problem. It's the trend of your thoughts. And if the trend of your thoughts are negative, you wonder why your life has so many negatives in it. Your thought becomes the law of your life. I don't know how I didn't underline that one. That's such a good line. Okay. All right. Yeah, I've highlighted it now. To think is to create. You have already been thinking and creating. Now you wish to create good instead of evil. Abundance rather than limitation. You have this possibility within you, for the law within you is set in motion by the mind within you. The mind within you is God having complete authority over the law, but you must reverse your use of this law. You must accept your freedom, announce your liberty, and proclaim your divine birthright. Whatever you believe to be true about God, declare to be true about yourself. Know that the power within you, which is God, is the law of good, establishing right action in your life. In this manner, you will gain dominion and exercise authority. Okay, let's go back and talk about this. Whatever you believe to be true about God, declare to be true about yourself. That's why it's really a good idea to have a pretty clear idea of what you think about God. Growing up, I could never buy The Old Man in the Sky with the old accountant in the sky with the book. I couldn't buy that. When Science of Mind explained to me about patterning, intelligence, and energy, I was like, no, you know what? That's a God I can get behind. That's the kind of God I can believe in. You know, I've read all kinds of religion. I've seen all kinds of different ideas about God. And frankly, some of them are terrifying. So, you know, it's like your thought becomes the law of your life. What you believe about God is what you are declaring about yourself. What do you believe about God? All right. To think is to create. A thinker is a creator. They live in the world of their own creation. You are a thinker. Therefore, you are a creator. Consequently, you live in a world of your own creation. Yup. You live in a world of your own creation. Now, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I get we interact with each other and our ideas of the world, bump up against each other. But still, I have conversations with people and I'm like, yeah, like we live in the same, but clearly we live in different worlds. We live in different worlds and they live in a much scarier world than I do. All right. At first, this does not seem to be true and you may deny it. But finally, you will come to see that if this were not true, you could not be a free individual. If it is true, then your very bondage is a result of an ignorant use of your freedom. He keeps starting to think is to create. That's how he's starting the paragraphs. All right. To think is to create. This is the key that opens the doorway to wisdom and power. That doorway is already within you. Somewhere within you, the mind of God reveals the truth that you were born free, that the will of God for you is one of goodness, truth, and beauty, that all the power there is for you, and all the will there is wills life. You are the image and likeness of this life. You are a personification of it. You are the personality of God. The kingdom of heaven is already within you, and the law of that kingdom is harmony, peace, and joy. But if this law of God within you is one with the all law, then there is no opposite to it. Nothing can contradict its final, absolute, supreme authority. You must know this, and in knowing it, you will exercise that authority, which the eternal principle has incarnated in you. To think is to create. Thoughts are things, and the law of things is a law of thought. Change your thinking then. This will not be easy at first, because old thought habits are prone to reassert themselves, to claim that they have a right to remain in your consciousness, to harass and torment you. But now you are wise, and you know that they have no such authority. I was working on something, and I was struggling, and I happened to talk to a practitioner friend of mine. It's interesting when you're a practitioner and your friends are practitioners, you have unexpected prac sessions. Like you're just having a conversation and it kind of turns into a prac session. And this practitioner friend of mine said, "You're just playing old tapes. Like, take those old tapes out and throw them away." But when she said, "You're just playing old tapes," that was a light bulb moment for me. It's like, oh, old tapes. I don't have to listen to this anymore. All right. That's what he's talking about right here. You see them to be exactly what they are. False impressions claiming to be the truth. They are traitors to your true self. False representations of the divinity within you. They are a misuse of your law of freedom, but you will cast them out. You will say to them, "I no longer accept you. Be gone." And because they are only thoughts, they will evaporate. So yeah, every now and again, I'll run across an old tape and I look at it and I'm like, it's an old tape, and I will throw it away. I was never a big fan of cassettes anyway, so it's a very helpful image for me. What a wondrous thing to realize that this mind within you is also the law within you, and that the spirit within you, which is God, acts through this mind upon this law at your direction. You should rejoice that at least you are awakening to the realization that there is no law for you, but your own soul shall set it in the one great law of all life, truth, and wisdom. All right. So the next article is the power within you. That one's kind of short. All right. So the law within you. Every thought can be creative. That's something you want to always keep in mind. Every thought has the potential to be creative. The good news is not every thought is creative, because sometimes we look at our thoughts and go, "Oh my God, I don't want to create that." But I will tell you that the thoughts that have more emotion concentrated around them, be that, something you want or something you don't want, which is why they say what you resist persists. Like, the more emotion you wrap around the thought, the more likely it is to become a thing. What you resist persists. So it's like you gotta be willing to pull the emotion out of the thoughts so that they don't become creative. That's one of the reasons why anger can be very helpful and very harmful at the same time. It's like you want to watch the thoughts you're wrapping that anger around. What thoughts are you wrapping that anger around? Because those are the thoughts that are more likely to be creative. All right, beloveds, that is the essay for today. I'm going to move into the process of my day. I'm going to encourage you now to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a take care of business day, a you got this day, a drink plenty of water day, a stay out of the direct sunshine today, a don't play with this heat dome day, a cuddle your fur babies day, a tell somebody you love them day, a know who you are day, a take care of yourself day, a take a break day, a eat something amazing day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, because I do understand lately it has been too much pressure for me. Simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You're a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, a beautiful masterpiece, a work in progress at the same time at your own pace. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godly. And I know I like to say you are a brilliant light, a divine spark. One of the things that I want you to remember, and I'm not the one that said this, and I don't remember who it is, so I'm not quoting my sources. Thank you, Ernest. Sometimes if you can't see the light, it's because you are the light. Just like a butterfly can't see how beautiful its wings are, but the people around it can. So, you know what? You are a brilliant light. You are a divine spark. Explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. It's all the divine knows. And from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds. I'm going to move into the process of my day. I believe it's Wednesday, so Danielle should be on with a meditation sometime between 11 and 2. I'm the only one who definitely has a fixed spot, because I do this before I go to work. And Reverend David should be on around between 5 and, who knows, around 5 p.m. He can be on from anywhere from 4 to, actually, I've seen him as early as 3 and 9. So, Good news is you got 30 days to watch him, and if you don't see him then you can probably catch him on YouTube. I don't know what David's YouTube is, but mine's the Running Rev Ryan YouTube, and I put Danielle's meditation, since she only does one a week. I move those to the Creative Life into my meditations. So, all right, beloveds, I'm gonna move into the process of my day. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. Hang on. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. I will see you next time. I don't know how to end the video. Oh my goodness.